Hey everyone, it's Annette Green here today, and if you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Today it's all about shakers and shaker cards. Shakers are all the rage, have been for quite a while now. They add that fun little bit of interaction and embellishment to a card or a gift or a tag. And although there are companies that sell actual shaker elements, and that's wonderful because that's quick and easy. I'm here today to show you, instead of purchasing one of those, how to make your own. The good thing about making your own is you can cut any shape that you want if you have a cutting machine like a Cricut or a Silhouette. And really the sky's the limit, whereas the pre-made ones are dictated for you. So you have more choices this way. And just to back up a little bit, in case you're wondering what this beautiful paper is and all these laser cut images and the flowers, they're all from 49 and Market. I will put a link in the description below to these products so that you know what I'm using. They are wonderful. So let's talk about shakers. What is a shaker, really? It's a three-dimensional frame type element, usually about just under a 1/4 inch thick or so that you can fit some shaker elements inside. And then there's usually a sheet of acetate or a plastic clear covering. And basically the rest of it is a frame. So just so you have your brain around how I've done it, and this is probably like the old school way people used to do it anyway. It's not like I developed anything special. You basically need to cut out the shape that you desire, and then the same shape that you desire but in frame form. So this is very easy to do now on the Cricut with the offset feature. And what I do is I cut one base, and you will see this, and then this doesn't matter too much what you cut this out of. You do see it on the inside a little bit, but your shaker pieces and elements are in there, so it doesn't matter too much what this is cut out of. But I usually cut about 8 or 9 of these, because these are all going to get glued together and create a tall, thick frame. Okay? So more pieces than what you see here. And then finally you'll cut one more out of your decorative paper that you want to see from the front. Okay. Now before that goes on, of course, you're going to fill your shaker element, and I'll show you all this. We'll do it for real. But you will put your shaker elements in there, then you'll adhere your acetate, which is also cut, like, I know you can't see that like at all, but it's the same shape as the tag cut on my Cricut. And then finally that seals in your goodies, and then you have your pretty element on top. So that's basically how I do it. And then to get over this look on the side, I take some ribbon. As you can see here, I have like a two-toned pink and white stripe on that one. This one had just red, and it's a 1/8 inch wide ribbon. I have just tons of ribbon, so I just used what was in my stash. Okay. The other thing I didn't mention though was that you needed like shaker stuff. So these are really cute. These are from Close to My Heart. They're called mini hearts, and that's exactly what they are. I think they're made of like foam. They're really cute little die cut hearts in different shades of pinks and slight purple. And then it's nice to have some kind of sequins. Oh, I wish I knew what company these were from, but these are pink and yellow and green, and some of the sequence is even in a heart shape. So if I threw away the package, that's why I can't remember what it is. But if I look it up, which I will try to do, there's a little heart-shaped one right there. I will put it in the description below where I got this sequence, because it's perfect with this paper collection. All right, we'll take a closer look at these a little bit later when we're all done with everything. What I decided to do this time, instead of making another card, I thought it would be fun to make the little pizza box from Elizabeth Craft Designs. This is a pizza box die that makes a mini pizza box. It's really cute. Has all these great pieces to it. And so I'm thinking that's what I want to add a shaker to the top of. Okay, so like I told you earlier, you have to have a frame. And so there are all my frame pieces. I will count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. And then this is the 10th one. Whoops. That I cut out of the pretty paper. And then I have yet to cut the acetate because I want to show you something first. And then this is part of the die. It's going to be my background. So instead of that solid frame that's the same size as this, I'm just going to glue these right onto here so we can see this in the background. Okay, so before I cut my acetate to make my little clear cover, I wanted to show you how I cut these frames. So I used another die from Elizabeth Craft Designs. It is the number 1698 Stitched Indented Squares die. There's a whole bunch. 2 are missing. Those are the ones I used. And in order to make a frame, you just tape 2 of them together. Okay, and I use some removable tape here. I put an arrow at the top with a pen so that when I cut these out and I take them out of the die cutting machine, I stack them up so all the pieces that came out in this orientation are all facing the same way, because I'm not 100% sure that I have this exactly right. So I didn't want to fuss and fiddle later trying to match all these up. And as you can see, I can tell right now I've got them all lined up nicely. So if I had cut that just a little bit off and I was trying to fix them, that would be a little bit of a headache. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're doing a nesting die like this. On the Cricut, no problem. They cut all the same. All right, so my frames are all cut. I have my base. And now to cut the acetate, we don't want a frame, but we want the whole piece. So we're going to take this tape off and we're going to use the big outside piece. And this acetate is just good old basic stuff, you know, it's nothing fancy. So I'm going to go cut that out and I'll be right back. All right, the die cut that out beautifully. Just have to get all those little bits of lint off of there, and this will eventually go behind here. All right, so now we are going to get this assembled and then we'll put together our pizza box. You can see I've cut it out of dark green cardstock because I'm going to pull in all these goodies from over here from 49 and Market to adorn it. And rather than having just a big open space like this, I was going to add some flowers in there and then this love. And this is a great die to use. Anything that you have like on the Cricut that's open like this is a really good thing to use because you just want to be able to see through and see all the little shaker elements. This die was free from scrapbook.com. It's love, and it's just the single word die, and it was free when I placed an order the other day. So yay. All right, so now I'm going to put this together, and I am going to begin by just starting at the bottom and stacking these guys up. You see I'm keeping them in the same orientation, making sure that the top is always the same. Top. Whoops. It's nighttime here in the craft room, so I hope it isn't too, I hope it's bright enough. And I am a little tired, so hopefully I'll do okay here. So the main thing here is you want to take your time, and when you're gluing these together, make sure you're lined up right from the start. Everything should be squared up, so I would use either a glue stick or liquid glue, something you know that's going to slide. I am using art glitter glue, so I know I have a second to slide it into place. Alright, I have all those layers glued together. They're nice and square, looks pretty good. Again, we're going to use this as our base piece, so we don't need that one. And then we have our fancy guy here, which I have already put some adhesive tape on the back side of that, as well as on my acetate. Okay, so this is pretty much close to ready to go. So I think what we'll do now is we'll just get this right onto our pizza box. And I want to do this while the pizza box is flat so I can really press down on things. As far as this part here, you could use double-sided adhesive tape as well. I'm just going to use glue for this bottom layer. And we'll just get this right in the middle. You can see that little black arrow, I think, at the top. That's me just reminding myself of the orientation. See it right there? And I also marked the back side of my frame piece with a little asterisk so I know that that's the top as well. Okay, so before we put on the clear, we want to fill this up with our goodies. So I'm going to dump in some of these little hearts. You just want to make sure you don't overfill it. You do want it to be able to shake and move. And you don't want to use anything that's thicker than your walls, of course. So I'm going to use a little bit of both. That's what I've been doing in all my little shaker things. I mean, you could add glitter in here, all kinds of cute little things, but I think that's good. Okay, now we're going to get our acetate. On my cards, I did not glue this element down until I put the whole shaker together. But because this is a pizza box, you know, it's harder. But everything's shaking and working, and even if there's a little bit of overhang of that acetate, I'm okay with that. But when doing the cards, like I said, I did not put the shaker element down till it was all created, and then that way if any of the acetate was hanging off the edge or something was askew, I could trim it before I put it on the card. So just keep that in mind. All right, I think that's good. That looks pretty cute, right? Okay, that is basically it. So I'm going to just keep on going and decorate the box, and I'll come back and show it to you all finished. Okay, I've got my box all decorated. There's the love on there. I added a little butterfly just now, and I put some paper around the outside edges, and then there's also some paper on the inside there. And so I'm just finishing it off. You don't want to put too much, you know, over the top of all this pretty stuff you've just put in there. So just a few things to adorn. So at the bottom I'm going to just put a flower, and I've cut apart just 2 leaves from all these wonderful laser cut elements here. Okay, I added another little flower bud coming off of the corner there, and I'm pretty happy with that. I think that that is done. I'm going to let that dry. And I do have a wonderful stamp here, a Happy Valentine's Day stamp. I will stamp and put into the inside of the lid later on, once this is dry. You can always take the sequins and add it all around the edge if you want to. I didn't feel like the box needed it like the cards did, and I will show you the cards so you can see that detail. Let me back out a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, there are sequence bits all around this card. There's those laser cuts, there's butterflies popped up, and of course ribbon, and then the stamped Happy Valentine's Day. So there's that one, and then we have this one here. I think I'm going to send this one to my parents. Again, we have the little sequins scattered about, a little bit of ribbon that I stitched and folded over on itself down here, and then of course those beautiful flowers from 49 and Market. I haven't done anything to the inside of this one yet, but I definitely will. And finally this one for a very, very special friend. This one was so much fun. This was on the Cricut. I just found the word love that was stacked like that with a lot of open space. It was perfect for a shaker. So again, the sequence is everywhere. Hello Friend has been die cut using the Graphic 45 dies, and the rest of it is all 49 and Market stuff. And also need to do something to the inside of that one. One thing that I didn't do to the box that I did to the rest of my shakers is I didn't add that ribbon around the outside edge of the shaker. It was a little harder to do once this was already on the box. So if you're going to add ribbon, I would do that before you put your shaker element on. It's a little easier to get around there. But I think it looks nice just the way that it is, so I'm not worried about that. So these are my projects today, people. I hope you enjoyed making shakers with me. I hope you found it as easy as I did, and I hope you give it a try. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Happy Valentine's Day!